Hi, in this tutorial, what I'd like to talk about is how to complete the rough draft for the Ancient Civilization's final prompt. This is for Unit 2. It is directly analyzing Scott Pilgrim versus the world, so it should be pretty easy because you've just watched it. It doesn't have anything to do with anything else from Ancient Civilization. It's just connecting hero journey and conflict and theme to the film that we just watched. So let's go ahead and read the prompt together. And it says to annotate, highlight, and underline. How does the plot of Scott Pilgrim versus the world, key word there is plot, represent the hero journey? So pretty straightforward. You're going to be using the hero journey and the details of your worksheet, the worksheet that you had completed in the front of the prompt here, in which you create each of those areas. You find each of these areas of the hero journey and are putting details into that. And that will become your concrete details, or the says in your saying matter. How are the themes of forgiveness, keywords there are forgiveness and self-respect, those are the two themes, revealed in the internal and external conflicts? Going to highlight that as well, of Scott Pilgrim. We're looking at the character of Scott as a hero and how that character reveals through his conflicts, through the elements of the story, the theme of forgiveness, so the fact that he has to be forgiven by others, and maybe forgiving other people as well, and also self-respect, how he kind of becomes a person who makes good decisions, who is confident, who admits mistakes, etc. Your intro paragraph is, as always, it's using the acronym of HOT: hook, orient, and thesis. Your intro paragraph should be hot, right? The hook is, when you do a hook, it's just the introduction. It's supposed to kind of catch your reader's attention. I don't really care about it as much because it's not analytical. It's just a persuasive technique. So just do whatever you want for the hook. You can do a quote. You can make something up. You can be funny, whatever. The orient, though, it gives us a sense of where the story is supposed to be going. So you say in the novel, in this case, it's a film, right? So you just need to change that. In the film, Scott Pilgrim versus the world. So you'd fill that in right here. Written by, and I told you guys in class that it's written by a guy named Brian Lee. So you can write that name down. Written by Brian Lee. And then you give a quick summary of the film as a whole, what Scott Pilgrim's about and what the story does, about a sentence. Now your thesis is different than your orient, right? So this is not just a summary of the story. It is actually connecting the elements of the prompt together with your details of your argument. So what details connect to the theme of forgiveness and self-respect? How could you summarize how you view those things connect together? What did Scott Pilgrim have to learn regarding self-respect? What did he have to learn about forgiveness? Be specific. And your thesis can be specific. It can be as long as you want. You can maybe make it 2 sentences, but it needs to tell me your argument. All right? Now, body paragraph 1, so how you'd want to structure this, and I've said this in class, but I'm just going to reiterate it here. You can structure it a couple of different ways. I'm going to give you one example. But notice that I have 2 different, I have like pairs of elements that you can put together. One element being like the conflict, so internal, external, and the themes are in pairs as well, forgiveness and self-respect. And you have how many body paragraphs? 2, right? So you have 2 body paragraphs and 2 pairs of elements to work with. So you have 2 saying matters and 2 body paragraphs. That way, now you can talk about maybe 1 body paragraph, and this is the way I want to structure it for you guys. 1 body paragraph, let that one be about forgiveness. So let body paragraph 1 be about forgiveness. I'm just going to write next to it here, forgiveness. Okay, and then my second body paragraph will be about the second element or theme that you want to look at, which is self-respect. Okay, so that's one way to describe it here. So I'm just going to highlight those for you to see here, self-respect and forgiveness. The second thing then is that we have also 2 pairs of lit elements here, the internal and external conflict. And so I want to take those elements and now put them within the same matter. It's sort of like an equation or a formula. Where does the variables fit within the equation? And your essay can be thought of like an equation. You're just trying to plug in the right variables and make the connection so it all adds up in the end. The saying matter here, so one saying matter can be about, let's say that this saying matter will be about the internal conflict. So this would be and also the hero journey element as well. So this is like him crossing the threshold and him showing this external conflict or something like that. And then you'd be talking about how it connects to the theme of forgiveness because. Choose the detail that goes with that and connect the two together. The say does not need to be a quote. All it needs to be is a detail that you remember from the back of the book or the back of the worksheet here. One of these boxes can represent your details. So friends and how the friends help him. How is he called to adventure? How does he cross the threshold, etc. These can become your details. This means that you just reword it in your own words. You can identify the conflict here, and you can say this reveals the crossing of the threshold and external conflicts and connects to the theme of forgiveness because, and that's where the because, so I'm going to highlight that here. The because is what you are putting together as far as the connections you make. The connections you make are different than the connections that I make or connections that other students make, because we all come with our own experiences. That's what's cool about writing. A student asked me, well, this is this external or internal conflict? And I said, well, I think this, him fighting with Wallace, his roommate, right? That is an internal conflict because he doesn't know how to work with himself on things, and so he has to rely on others around him. And the student said, well, I think that's an external conflict because he's fighting with his roommate. I said, oh, that's true too. So it really depends on your perspective on each of these different details. So make sure that you have it be your own voice. Try your best. If you don't get it fully, refer back to this. Go back through. You're doing one again on forgiveness, another body paragraph on self-respect, have one samey matter on external conflict, have one samey matter on the external conflict in each body paragraph, and you'll probably be fine. Okay, so do your best on it. Good luck, and hopefully you'll be ready to do a final draft on Friday.